Welcome to the Hershey Podcast. I'm Brandon.
In January.
We're back.
With only 6 days until the book comes out.
6 days.
We've actually been sitting here. Brandon's been kind of shaking his head saying he can't believe it.
Yeah, it's felt like so long because it's been 2 years and now it's happening so fast.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you travel, how you like rush to wait. You rush and wait, and wait. I feel that's the way that this has been. It's like rush around and then now go slow and then rush to get this done and then it goes slow. And so I feel like it's been going really slow the last few months and now boom, it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really cool though. Like there aren't any adjectives to describe all the emotions you feel when you write and publish a book. It's really phenomenal. Maybe one day I'll write a book called Getting Published Without Fear and I'll find the words then.
I'm all for that option.
Right. So today we're going to talk about chapter 10 in the upcoming book, Birth Without Fear, the Judgement-Free Guide to Taking Charge of Your Pregnancy, Birth, and Postpartum. And that postpartum part is very, very important. It is a third of the book. And it was really important for me to get this information in everyone's hands before you even realize you need it. But chapter 10 is really fun. It's You Do You Boo, Self-Love Without Fear. When I wrote the book, I remember thinking, I have to write this book if it's the only book I'll ever get to write. And so there is a lot of self-love and self-care woven throughout every chapter and section of this book.
Yes, there is.
You've read it a few times. So
I have read it a few times, and there's also a fair amount of your trademarked sayings in there
Januaryisms.
as well. Januaryisms, like you do you boo.
Right. Well, it starts with one of my quotes that I love, and I'm declaring it. If cellulite is normal and cute on babies, it's normal and cute on me. I remember one time a woman told me I was wrong, that I needed to buy some kind of roller to rub out my cellulite. And it's like,
oh my God,
bitch, I was born with this. Like, if it's not gone by now, it's not going anywhere. But, maybe with this fruitarian diet I'm on, maybe that will be my roller. I'll put that in air quotes.
Well, just a simple fact that someone actually believes that is mind-boggling.
Well, or the simple
itself.
fact that you're going to comment that to someone who's working on loving themselves. Like, just stop it. We're all allowed to love ourselves different. We're allowed to change our minds. We're allowed to change, but we're allowed to love ourselves on our journey without any gimmicks or products or anything else. So that's why I started Take Back Postpartum right there.
There you go.
Yeah. So I want to read the first paragraph of this book to get us started.
Let's hear it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Self-love is about falling in love with yourself. Think about it this way. When you love someone, what do you do for them? You care for them, give them encouragement, forgive them, spend time with them, and want them to be happy. Except this, for once, is not about anyone else. It's about loving you and your journey, giving yourself grace, finding moments of happy, and getting through the day being your own friend. You're allowed to love yourself. You don't have to withhold that love until you reach some goal. You're allowed to love yourself now, today, even if you're not where you want to be in every aspect of your life. I think that's important. I think it's okay to talk about wanting changes while also loving yourself on the journey. Like, they don't have to be two separate things. They can happen parallel to each other.
Oh, absolutely.
And I go into how I started my journey in self-love, that thought process in this chapter. And I think that a lot of people will be able to relate to it or think, oh, aha, that's how I should change this thinking or that thinking, and hopefully give you some ideas on how to do that. And it's the small moments. It's the small little compliments you give yourself. It's the small moments of self-love that are in fact big. They add up. It's that daily grace you give yourself, compliments you give yourself, stopping yourself in a negative comment and replacing it with a good one. Self-care and self-love are also parallel. So taking 5 minutes to yourself to take care of yourself is an act of self-love. There's all sorts of different ways and different, I guess, seasons we're in with self-love. And I try to go over all that in this chapter.
Absolutely. For me, I know meditation has been a huge way to practice self-care. Mm-hmm. I used to think it was working out in the gym, and I used to beat myself up so hard in the gym. Literally, I'd walk out. Well, not walk out, I'd stumble out thinking I was being healthy, but looking back, I was actually doing more harm than good. Ended up getting a torn subscapularis muscle for it in the process. So meditation is far better for me right now than brutalizing myself in the gym.
It's interesting just hearing you say that, because I've been alongside for your journey too. And you've come such a long way in how you view that. And over the last 2 years, we realized that for me, my self-love journey had a lot to do with body positivity, but your self-love journey has a lot to do with how you think about yourself.
Oh yeah,
not to do with your body, but your mind, your mental health. So for you, self-love, I can't find my words. I haven't had enough coffee today, y'all. But for you, self-love isn't about body positivity. It's about self-talk.
Yeah, it's not about shutting down any one aspect of my mind that may have that negative self-talk. It's recognizing, accepting it, and saying, okay, I hear you. I see you. Have a seat. I'll refer to you when I need you again. And it's actually been a really healthy way for me to deal with it, because I am so critical of myself and always have been. And
do you know what happens when you or others are so critical of themselves?
What happens?
You guys should see his face. I think we should start doing video of our podcast so y'all can see our faces.
We might.
I think we should do that. What happens is you and others who are so critical of themselves are so critical of others. And it's very hard to be around.
Well, it's hard to love others when you can't love yourself.
Exactly. And that's what it all comes down to, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Well, in the chapter, of course, there is a section, body positivity, postpartum, right?
Of course.
Because our bodies change so much. And I'm going to read the beginning of that to you guys. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Think of postpartum like other major life transitions you've experienced. Think of it like puberty. Your body changed. Your hormones changed. Your body care routines changed. It was probably a little or very scary and unfamiliar. Maybe you felt embarrassed and uncomfortable in your own skin. Maybe you didn't. But you were changing, and most of it was out of your control. How tall you were going to grow, how the flood of hormones would make you feel, how big your breasts were going to get. What if you hold space for yourself postpartum the way you wish someone held space for you when you were going through puberty? Ooh, I love that. I remember when I was having Skype with Colleen about this chapter, and I said that to her, and we were both like, oh my gosh, that's it. Because it's so true. Like, I don't think many of us had space held for us when we went through all those changes that were completely out of our control. And if we did have that, then maybe the changes we went through postpartum, it would come more naturally to do that then. But most of us didn't have that. So if we could do that for ourselves now, then when our daughters and sons go through puberty, which we have a couple right now, we can do that for them, which we are. Every day, all day.
Oh, I know. I heard the words puberty when you're reading that. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I quite literally have conversations with one or all 3 to 4 of our kids going through different stages of puberty every day regarding their emotions, how they feel, just whatever, and they each have had different things come up more for them than others. Like our oldest had a period of time where she was depressed, and I think our son, who's 13, is now just kind of going through a hard time with just, siblings and younger siblings. And for him, it's internalizing everything. So trying to get him to talk out loud. And with Miss New York, who's 11, it was really, really, really bad OCD for a while. Really bad. Maybe her and I will do a podcast about it when she's comfortable. And then with our youngest, who's just kind of starting that phase, it's pretty bad anxiety, And so it's mostly holding space for them, listening to them, talking to them, letting them just get it off their chest so they just can feel better. Talking to them about how they're feeling about their body and telling them it's okay to feel that way. But at the same time, like, let me normalize this for you. Of course your thighs are going to get bigger when you sit down. Where else is all that in your legs supposed to go? Right. And
it happens for everybody.
And then also, essential oils or homeopaths that can help with the things like anxiety or OCD, and making a bed on the floor next to my bed for the 8-year-old to come in if she wakes up and is scared at night. And just so holding space is going to be all these things and more. And let's do that for our children when they're going through puberty. But gosh, I didn't have that. You didn't have that.
No.
Many of you listening probably didn't have that. So make that for yourself now, especially when you're going through those postpartum changes.
Absolutely.
That's really, really important. There's also a section here about expectations, which we did an episode on expectations a while ago.
Episode 3, Parenting and Expectations.
So go back and listen to that one. But there is a section on expectations in here. Self-care for self-love is in here. And then the partner point of view is helping our partners help themselves. So that was...
I enjoyed writing that one.
Did you?
That was one of my favorite sidebars to write.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's neat. Why was that?
I don't know. It was a fun one to write.
That's cool. So you guys can get the book. You get the book so that you can read all those sections, read Brandon's part that was fun to write. You can go right straight to Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, or go to our website, birthoutfearblog.com, which has all the different buttons of places you can buy it, plus the information for the 15% off for Earth Mama's website if you pre-order the book.
Absolutely.
Jamie?
And real quick.
Yes.
I do know why it was fun to write. I'm just not going to say. You have to get the book.
All right. Lastly, before we sign off for today, is I will be in Long Island and Hartford in about 10 days.
Oh, yeah.
Right after the book comes out for the first events for the year. So you can check those or any other cities and dates on bwfconference.com. All right, you guys, until next time.
Adios.
Love ya.